Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm hanging out with my friends' kids. We are headed to a mall. It's called Cross Iron Mills Mall. It is a fully enclosed shopping center that is located just outside of the northern city limits of Calgary. It is the largest single level shopping center in Alberta, containing approximately 109,440 meters squared of retail space. So it's a huge shopping mall, but I've seen better shopping malls. Anyway, and as you can see outside, it snowed. This is my favorite season. I love it. It looks so beautiful. Like, I really love snow, guys. And as we head to the mall, to pick the kids into to the mall, I will be discussing about the express entry documents. We spoke about express entry last week, so you can definitely check that video out. I did mention that it was very hard for me, that part for the documents, and someone wanted to know why and what documents are required, and here I am. This video will not cover everything, however, I can continue on the next video. So basically, we'll be discussing express entry, and federal skilled worker program specifically. So what do you need to create your profile? First, you need a valid passport. Make sure it has at least 6 months of validity, but then I would make it years because you don't even know when you are going to receive your invitation to apply. So just make sure your document is up to date. You would need language test results, which are either English or French, English and or French. And then you do need proof of Canadian education. Doesn't mean that you have to have studied in Canada, but if you didn't, you do have to get your degree or your master's or your PhD, whatever it is. You do need to have that assessed. So it's called Educational Credential Assessment, ECA, and I will share more as when we get to that point. You also need proof of funds. And on top of that, if you have a provincial nomination like we did, you need to have to upload that nomination as well. If you do have a job offer from any Canadian employer, then you also need to upload that. So those are the documents that will be needed just to create the profile. There is much more which we are going to discuss, like police certificates. You do need medical exams, you do need NOCs, you do need your marriage certificate or your common law documents or divorce certificate. So let's start with the language. And so the languages that are accepted in Canada, as we had said, are English and or French, and you will be tested on your ability to write, to read, to listen, and to speak. Here's a funny story of when we went to take our English test. Like, I was like, we have to go take an English test? I'm like, who doesn't know English? Like, we've been speaking English since primary school, at least in Kenya. So I wasn't even worried. I didn't even look. Like, I just booked the date at British Council and I moved on with my life. The day that I went, oh my God. First of all, the listening test ended before it even began. Like, I was like, what just happened? It was, I don't know, that half an hour it didn't happen. It wasn't there. So that woke me up. And that's why I had to go for a second testing, and then just trying to improve my points, I went for another one. So don't assume, please, even if you're a native speaker, don't assume. Just have it. Just revise. Just look. Just look, because you don't know. Revise. And that's the biggest advice I usually give anyone who is going for IELTS and they think they know it. I'm like, just read, study, look through every section, because it will shock you. So the language tests that are accepted in Canada in English will be CELPIP, or Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program, or International English Language Testing System, which is the most common. And then for French, it will be TEF. Don't ask me to read that in full, because no, I can't do it. So there is TEF, as in TEF, and there is TCF Canada. And I will be discussing English, because I only went for English exams. So for you to get a CLB 7, which is the lowest, like the benchmark for English, you need to get 6.0 in speaking. You need to get listening 6.0, between 6.0 to 7.0, and reading 6.0, writing 6.0 as well. And you get 4 points per each ability. And if you get a CLB 8, then if you want a CLB 8, then you will need to score a 6.5 in speaking, reading, and writing, and then a 7.5 in listening. If you want a CLB 9, which is the most ideal, you will need to have 7 in speaking, reading, writing, and at least 8.0 in listening. And the maximum is CLB 10. You will need to score a between 7.5 to 9 on speaking, 8.5 to 9.0 in listening, reading 8.0 to 9.0, and writing 7.5 to 9.0. Both of them, like CLB 9 and 10, will give you 6 points per ability. So that just means 6 times 4 gives you the 24, the full 24 points for official language. Okay, so you can definitely strive for a CLB 9 or 10, which is what I was striving for, because you also do get 50 points on top of your 24. I needed those points, so I wanted my second and my third. I all got a CLB 9, so I was just like, okay, I am done. I am never ever going again to sit for an English exam, so God help me. And so I was like, I will find other ways to increase my points if this doesn't work. And so that would be all about language. If that doesn't make sense, or you do have more questions, let me know. And then we move to educational credential assessment, which is the ECA, and this is used to verify your foreign degree, diploma, or certificate, if it is valid and equal to a Canadian one. So you literally have to have that done, especially if your degree or whatever level of education was done outside of Canada. You have to have an ECA classification. We used WES, WES, but I will discuss more about ECA on the next video. The biggest hurdle for me when I was doing ECA was getting my transcripts from my school. My God, it took me 6 months to get transcripts. 6 months. My school had changed the names. I don't know if they ever used to record it was just oh my gosh, like, if I knew that it was going to take that long, I would never even have, because that time we had our profile, like we had registered, like there wasn't, why did we even register? Like, oh, yeah, so everybody's experience is not that. So I will talk more about that on the next video. And thank you for staying on this one. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. See you on the next one. Thank you.